When people heard that he was about to raise a $100 billion fund, some said he was crazy. They called him mad, but he made it big. There's more to his story that will leave you hooked till the end. Let's get on with the video. But before that, please hit that like button. Let's go! The man we are talking about is Masayoshi Son, who was once the richest man in the world for 3 days. But his fate was short-lived, as he lost $70 billion within one night. This is regarded as the biggest personal loss in history. He was the same man who gained $45 billion of funding within a 45-minute-long meeting. This makes it $1 billion per minute. This man is also the person with the title for the single greatest investment ever made in history. On the other hand, people claim that he was simply an insane gambler and treated the economy like a casino. People claimed that this issue was causing massive economic collapses and losses. This man threatened to set himself on fire if he did not manage to score a business deal. In addition, his investments worth billions of dollars were dependent on the sparkle of eyes in the clients. Despite this, I can easily say I admire this person as he is connected to everything ranging from Yahoo to Google. Most of the world does not know enough about this man, but they should. He is changing the world and betting on the world. Plus, his story is one of the fascinating tales you will hear in a while. It is inspiring and terrifying, plus it is extremely insane. To start his story and journey, we should start with his grandparents. His parents migrated from South Korea to Japan by hiding on a small fishing boat. They had no food, nowhere to stay, and could not speak the language. Masayoshi's life was bleak, and he mostly felt like an outsider in Japan. His classmates used to throw rocks at him, and his father barely made enough to get by. Plus, he did any odd jobs he could to make money. This ranged from raising pigs to selling illegal drugs and substances. Masayoshi wanted to build a better life for himself from a young age. The bullying he was exposed to only made him more determined, and by middle school, he had created a life plan for himself. He wanted to become the richest man in Japan and took inspiration from Den Fujita, as he had brought McDonald's to Japan and was the most successful businessman in the state. He kept calling his receptionist to speak, but was not satisfied with the positive responses. Later, he flew to Tokyo as he thought it would be cheaper than the phone bills. And Den Fujita was impressed by his determination and agreed to a 15-minute-long meeting with him. Masayoshi asked him for business advice, and he was advised to move to America for his business plans. He moved to California at age 16 to pursue his business dreams. He went to an American school and thought the process was too long, and he managed to convince the school to let him take the college entrance exams. Hence, he moved to study economics plus computer science at the University of California. He needed money with efficient time. Hence, he spent 5 minutes every day developing new invention ideas. He wanted to patent them and sell them. Not all ideas were great, but some were gems. His 3 approaches were problem-solving, perspective, and combination. Masa had a book with 250 new invention ideas, and his best device was a pocket translator. Sharp agreed to buy the patent for $1.7 million. As a result, by 19, Masa was a millionaire. He was also importing arcade games from Japan, earning millions in profit. He also created a new company named Softbank. He wanted it to become the top distribution industry in Japan. His company struggled to take off initially, but he kept investing more. His company became prominent in 1992. However, later on, Masa was diagnosed with chronic hepatitis. But he kept the facade that everything was fine. He soon recovered, but this scare made him realize he had to think bigger and faster. By the mid-90s, his company, Softbank, had 800 employees and $1 billion in revenue. He also invested in other tech businesses like Yahoo and made weird bets. The profit he would earn from this, he would reinvest right away. Hence, the Softbank shifted to buying other tech businesses Masa believed in. He soon invested $3 billion in 800 different tech startups. He soon heard about a Chinese company known as Alibaba. The founder was Jack Ma, and Masa invested $20 billion into the company. That same year, Masa raised the largest Japanese fund he ever threw into internet companies. As a result, he also became the richest man in the world for 3 days. But the market crashed and Masa lost $70 billion, which did not slow him down. He kept betting in the next decade and even gained the title of Wall Street bet trader. In 2001, he gained access to broadband services in Japan. Yes, he did that. By 2007, he had identified the prominence of mobiles instead of pieces. So he had a call with Steve Jobs. He told him about this idea of a mobile phone acting as a mini computer, but Steve told him that Apple was already working on something like that, and he would call it the iPhone. Masa asked for exclusive rights to sell it in Japan. Masa bought Vodafone Japan for $20 billion. He had a 300-year vision and was always thinking outside the box. Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia wanted to shift the oil-based economy, and he resorted to Masa. Masa secured an investment of $45 billion for investments into artificial intelligence. Despite all of this success, Masa also comes with a dark side. He has created bubbles and distorted the true value of many companies across the globe. Masa's investment style was reckless, and he carried out little research prior. His enormous investments were also the price of death for several companies, since they gained more money than they needed and caused companies to spend money recklessly. He has also used capital as a weapon and created additional competition. He believed that the company that capitalized the best on investments would eventually gain a take-all market. That meant the companies he invested in did not focus on creating a sustainable and profitable business. Also, the companies complained that Masa would not focus on them long-term. He would find a new company to focus on. He also threatened to invest in the rivals of companies that refused Masa's money. The worst part is that he invested in rivals anyway, just as Didi, Uber, Grab, which were all ride-sharing apps. Masa moved markets because he had so much money. I can easily claim I find myself rooting for this guy. But the other reality is that underneath the smile, there is also a ruthless shark. He has direct impacts on multiple industries and economies, yet he is not labeled as sinister due to his limited prurience in the English language. Masa's fun personality masks his sinister ambitions, but we also have to keep in mind this was not his sole purpose. His style may be questionable, but his main priority was always to improve the economy, generate new technology and innovations, and find new market avenues. He is always playing the long run. If his vision of artificial intelligence becomes true, he can easily become the richest man in the world. But he also may lose his fortune in gambling. So it all boils down to how you take the leap of faith. Are you willing to do something like this? If yes, then let us know in the comments below on how you are going to achieve your goals. We'd love to know.